Hey yo guys, how's it going? Tally here, and today we are going to talk about the 100 Duels deck that I used. This is going to be a bit of theory, it's going to be a bit of strategy, and I'm going to talk about the evolution of the deck throughout the 100 Duels series that I showed last week. So, first of all, guys, if you want to support me, do the usual, like it, comment hashtag for the algorithm, and join Team Tally if you haven't already by subscribing. Now let's dive right in. First of all, we're going to take a look at the main deck, and if I'm honest, the main deck is really pretty standard. For our elemental heroes, we've got a free Stratos, which is the most famous elemental hero ever. It searches out every type of hero. To Shadow Mist, because Shadow Mist also searches out some powerful cards, can search out any hero when it goes to the graveyard, and it can also search out Mask Change, which by the way, we do have a combo to do that. For our one-offs, we have one Honest Neos, which is a really good attack buffer, so underrated. We have our one-off Liquid Soldier, which we did actually play at 2 for a bit during the 100 Duel series, because I really wanted to open it early. Because of the searchable Mask Change combo, I wanted to increase my odds of seeing this without a normal summon. And then of course, speaking of a normal summon, we also have our Solid Soldier, which is a great normal summon to go into something like Shadow Mist to get you your Mask Change, or something like Stratos to get you more pluses and easy extension. Solid Soldier comes and goes from my deck. I'm really feeling him right now. For the second half of 100 Duels, I did actually cut him for the Liquid Soldier, but I do like him back in the deck. He's a nice boy, he's a good lad. And he just recently got a reprint in Toon Chaos. If you want to check that out, I opened a box and it's on the screen now. Next, we're going to talk about our Vision Heroes standard package, 3, 2, 2. This is possibly the best combo in the deck, if I'm honest. It does so much for the deck. It allows you to set up boards, search Poly, which allows you to extend even further. It allows you to bust through boards going into Trinity. Honestly, this does so much for the deck. If you want to play heroes, you have to play this engine. So if you don't know, guys, if you're new to the deck, Varus, you discard any hero and it summons itself, and it puts increase in the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap, which is important, and I'll tell you why in this video that's on screen now. What increase does is it tributes Varus, sends it to the graveyard, and it summons itself. When it special summons itself, it can summon Vion from deck, which dumps any hero you want in the graveyard and searches you out a polymerization. So this plus any hero is insane card advantage. You can send cards like Shadow Mist, you can send cards like Mali, and then you can go into Cross Crusader to search out anything you want. Speaking of Mali, by the way, here's our Destiny heroes. Nice, concise little package. We've got 2 Mali because we can't play him at 3, he is semi-limited. We have Dynatag to make our Dystopia alive, and we have Decider. Decider is the level 4 hero that I've settled on just now for 2 reasons. First of all, it doesn't really matter in terms of Dystopia which level 4 hero you use, they all have 1600 attack points, or the good ones anyway. And Decider, if you have Malicious in hand but you have Decider in graveyard and you go into Cross Crusader, you can summon out Decider, and his end phase effect will allow you to grab a hero from the graveyard, which means if you are only running 1 Liquid Soldier, which is the common number anyway, you can actually grab it again if you haven't used it off Miracle Fusion, allowing you to extend really easily next turn. So Decider is quite MVP, if I'm honest. Running a really small Destiny Hero package. I don't play Plasma. Plasma is a great card, you can feel free to play it. I just don't personally, because I like having a bigger board with lots of different types of interaction, as opposed to Plasma, who can be outed quite easily, leaving you with nothing. And lastly, we have our one evil hero, a Dusted Gold. Again, it is pricey. If you want to play the best version of the deck, you've got to play this, because it allows you to break boards going second with the greatest of ease, and it's super searchable. Again, it's not entirely mandatory if you want to play the deck in general, but if you want to play the best version of the deck, this is the card for you. It searches out your Dark Calling, which allows you to go into Malicious Bane, which allows you to break boards and OTK very easily. That's our monsters, quite a beefy monster lineup. Hero is quite a significant engine. For our spells, we have the classic free Mask Change. You play it at free, because not only can you search it, you want to see it as much as you can, so you want to increase those odds of opening it, or opening multiple, because even in multiples, this card is a great card. The only time it's not great is when you don't have a hero to play it with. Next we have Fusion Destiny. Again, you want to play it in multiples to get the most out of your Destiny heroes, get them in the graveyard. It's a 1 card link 2, plus an interruption on your opponent's turn, and then if you've got it paired with something like Mask Change, then this is a Dystopia plus Dark Lot on your opponent's turn with nothing else. so it allows for a lot of extenders to be played as well. Next we have, because we want to search everything out, we have 3 extra copies of Stratos. I don't currently play Rota, but you can play Rota if you want. Rota is great, and all it does is it goes from 6 copies of Stratos to 7 copies of Stratos. But again, because I've got some unsearchable cards in here, I want to increase my chances of digging through my deck with Liquid Soldier as much as possible. Then we have 1 A Hero Lives, 1 Dark Calling, 1 Poly, and 1 Miracle Fusion will put you there gorgeous. So ultimately, this card you want to see as early as possible, but it is limited, so we can only play 1. These cards you don't really want to open with ever, because you can search this, and by searching this you normally get yourself this. But you never really want to open these, they're very searchable, so you don't want to open them at all. You want to open this guy though. Special summons any elemental hero, or sorry, a level 4 or lower elemental hero from your deck, which is either Stratos or Shadow Mist. Next are traps, so we have 3 infinite impermanence. Again, this card isn't very budget friendly, but if you want to play the best version of heroes, you play infinite impermanence. It is just what it is. It's a hand trap going second, and it's a card you can set going first, and of course when it's set and you play it during your opponent's turn, it blocks off the entire column for spells and traps, which if you can really take advantage of, bad players will like end their own turn by setting something and activating it in the imperm column. So all you do is you negate a monster effect, and then you can negate a spell or trap in the same column. Honestly, it provides so much value. So again, there are budget options, I'll put them on screen now, but this is the best version of this sort of effect. And lastly, we have 3 Solemn Judgment and 2 Solemn Strikes. So the aim of this was to keep the deck count as low as possible to be able to dig into these with Liquid Soldier. So I'm only playing 5 of these, it brings us to 41 cards, but realistically, I think this is a good number as well, because it gives you 5 easy cards to side out going second, and going second, really where you want your side deck to come into play, so having a nice easy 5 cards to side out is really beneficial, because you can put in, well, we'll talk about the side deck in a few minutes anyway. Next, we will move on to the extra deck though. The extra deck, again, really simple. You have your 2 Darklaw, because you want to play multiple Darklaw to Darklaw into Darklaw. Darklaw is the best card in the extra deck, arguably one of the best cards in the entire deck, full stop. Alright, shuts off your opponent's graveyard, which by the way, I've heard your opponent really wants a graveyard in Yu-Gi-Oh! These days. And also it can rip a card from their hand when they search. Again, lots of cards like to search, so you can oftentimes wait, and then wait until they search, and then mask change a dark hero into Darklaw, and then make them discard a card or banish a card, apologies. Next, we have our other masked heroes. We do have 1 Blast, 1 Acid, which just got a reprint, as Blast did as well, but it wasn't quite as needed as Acid. And we have 1 Anki. So these are our masked heroes. Anki, great, honestly, like, you can destroy a monster with Anki, allows you to search a mask change, then you can go into your Darklaw, and then you can, that does allow you to push for game more often than not. We have Acid, who by the way is an absolute G. Acid can manipulate your opponent's attack points by destroying back row, and when you combine it with Acid, then you get a full board wipe. And Blast in back row matchups is insane because it allows you to return opponents' cards to their hand or their spell and traps. So if they have a field spell that they're relying on, they can activate that field spell, you can bounce it back to their hand, and if it's a hard ones per turn, then they can't activate it again. If they have any back row that they really need to pop off, and maybe again they're continuous, by returning those to hand, they will not be able to resolve, because continuous spells and traps need to be on field to resolve. Those are your masked heroes, you really want to play them exactly as is. For our elemental heroes, we have Acid and Sunrise. Sunrise is the heart and soul of your combo, it's one of the biggest extenders you have, which allows you to go into Acid real easy. Super easy to get Liquid to hand, so Liquid then goes into any other hero, into Sunrise, which allows you to search Miracle Fusion, where you then draw 2 off of Liquid Soldier, and then you can go into Absolute Zero if you're confident your opponent doesn't have Nibiru, link it off and wipe your opponent's monsters out, or if you have the mask change, go into Acid and wipe their whole field. And next we do have our kind of fringe heroes. We have our Destiny Hero Dystopia, Vision Hero Trinity, and Evil Hero Malicious Bane. Again, this is not the most budget card in the world, but it is one of the best cards in the hero deck. So first of all, for Dystopia, again, it's pretty much mandatory. Fusion Destiny makes it a 1 card link to plus a pop. Trinity, sometimes you're going to have monsters that you can't really destroy by battle, and you can actually go into Trinity, pump it up to 5k with its effect, pump that up to 7.5k with Honest Neos, and then there's not very many monsters in the game that can survive 3 hits off Trinity, because you will just OTK them. And Malicious Bane, of course, the best, and I mean best OTK part of the deck because it wipes boards very easily, it's searchable very easily, and it can provide big damage very easily. So that's all of our fusion monsters. We do run quite a lot of fusions. We also run some links. We do run 2 Cross Crusader. Again, this is nuts, right? Honestly, it searches any hero. Like, heroes are so consistent because of Stratos, Shadow Mist, and this. Having any Destiny hero in the graveyard turns this into any hero you want, which can search out your game enders or things like Liquid Soldier to dig deeper into your deck. We also have Wonderdriver, who, in the kind of grindier way that we play heroes these days, is again amazing because you can mass change on your turn, allowing you to then set that same mass change and then use it on your opponent's turn. And lastly, just for a little bit more damage, we do play a Dread Decimator just to make our monsters a little bit beefier, and that's really all he does. Like, he does piercing damage, which can come up, but honestly all he does is make our monsters beefier. And we have Cross Sheep, because this is actually a really kind of good turn-free recovery play. If you've got anything that allows you to extend into 2 monsters, you have 2 monsters, you go into Cross Sheep, and then you Miracle Fuse, because maybe you saved it, into Acid. Not Acid, Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero summons here or here, and it allows you to revive a monster from grave, which can be Shadow Mist to get you a mass change, or Stratos to get you a search. So Cross Sheep doesn't always come up, but it's an amazing recovery play. When it does come up, then it's an absolute lifesaver. Let's talk about the side deck a little bit, guys, because the side deck was a big one in the 100 Duels video, so I'm going to get some info on that for you. Okay guys, so on screen I'm going to put up 2 different side decks. Now, the one with the Lightning Storms in it is honestly probably the best side deck, right? It allows you to go second very easily, while the main deck is very much set up to go first, so it gives you a lot of options going second. By having Lightning Storm and Evenly, you're able to break boards, especially against back row heavy decks, which heroes kind of notoriously flub against. A lot of floodgates, a lot of different back row types of negation can really mess our deck up, and that's fine. Every deck has its weakness, so in the more expensive, less budget one with the Lightning Storms, it's probably the best at breaking boards, as well as having that Mystic Mine in there allows you to completely shut off large combo decks. You bait out a negation or 2, then you go ahead and just play your Mystic Mine, and then what you can do is just wait, right? All you need is Vion and any 2 heroes, and you're most likely OTKing, because Vion can send Shadow Mist, which then Shadow Mist gets you your Honest Neos, Vion gets you a Polymerization, and then if you have any other 2 heroes, you go into Trinity and you OTK. This is why Trinity is so good. Mystic Mine and Trinity is a match made in heaven. The Cosmic Cyclones, again, across both deck lists is great because, again, I've very much got in my head that I want to side maybe 5-6 cards at a time, so having those Cosmic Cyclones as well as like the Lightning Storms or the Evenlies, again, allows me to do that very easily, set up that 5-6 cards at a time. Plus, I also have the Red Reboot, that can be in both side decks really, right? That's that Red Reboot. Because it's limited, we only play 1, then we're able to get away with playing it at 1. As simple as it is. If it was at free, I would probably play it at free as a more budget option. And then of course lastly we have the Dark Ruler No More, again in both side decks. Dark Ruler No More is amazing because what we can do is we can use it as a way to allow us to set up a board, right? So we're not necessarily OTK in that turn. We definitely are not OTK in that turn, but what we can do is we can break apart our opponent's board, drain them of their resources, and then there we're able to set up a Darklaw, drain them of more resources as they try and recover their board, and we can play our own game and we can control the tempo, which is the way I currently like to play heroes, as an almost Salamangreat-esque control the tempo type deck. However, in a more budget option, I have included some cards that help you go first because I think the side deck is almost entirely geared to go in second, and there was a few times in the 100 Duels I thought, I really wish I could go first a little bit better, maybe have an extra trap or 2. So in here we have a Pointer of the Red Lotus, which is fantastic, honestly amazing. It allows you to continue to attack the hand, so you can rip any sort of card that would end the turn, right? So you can even rip your opponent's Lightning Storm, you can rip any sort of cards that would really cause you a bit of trouble. And then of course you also have Lost Wind, which provides extra monster negation, so on top of the Solemn Strike you would have 5 cards that negate a monster effect, as well as Lost Wind being able to recur itself, allowing you to continue to negate monster effects easily and gain advantage over your opponent. But this is the side deck, right? you can do any combination of this. Again, the less budget one, the one with the lightning storms, is the one I think is the best, but maybe you could take out little cards, like maybe you could take out the red reboot and cosmic cyclones, because we do have a lot of back row hate. Chuck in the appointer of the red lotuses to allow your going first game to be even stronger going into the side deck. Alright, but side decking for heroes really is where the flexibility comes in. Again, I think the more expensive side deck allows you to go first and second anytime you want, so if you can set up first going game 1, and then you win that one, and then you lose game 2, your opponent thinks you're going to go first, and you side in loads of going second cards, and you either break their board or you OTK them. So this is why I think the side deck is so important for heroes, and honestly when it comes to events coming back on, I'm probably going to invest in this side deck. Please pray for my wallet. Throw money at me, guys, definitely throw money at me. Don't actually, keep your money to yourself. But this is the best hero side deck possible, I think. Anyway guys, let's take it to the outro. Guys, as always, if you like the video, give it a like, and if you love it, give it a share and tell everyone you know about Team Tally today. If you want to catch up with me outside of YouTube, my socials are on screen. And as well, if you want to support me, be sure to leave a comment, be sure to like the video, hashtag for the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already to join Team Tally today. As always guys, you have been amazing, I have been Tally, I will catch you all later, bye.